say from the outset of this video, this nurse, Alex Wubbels, has more balls, more courage, more guts in her little finger than all the law enforcement officials you're going to see in this entire video. Let me also say that if you're part of law enforcement and you see any of your fellow cops at any time trample the individual rights of any person as was done to this innocent woman, and you stand by and do nothing, you're a pansy-ass, oath-breaking waste of a human being who should be stripped of your badge, uniform, and gun on the spot and sent to a jail cell filled with overpowering inmates who will be more than happy to show you a thing or two about assault, abuse of power, and the blatant disregard for individual liberties. Almost everybody with the pulse who has an internet connection has probably seen this viral video about a nurse standing up to a gang of cops. And that's exactly what they acted like, a gang, in a hospital's burn center last July. But stay with me because it's highly unlikely that you know the whole insane story. Just in case you haven't seen that snippet of the video that went viral, here's a quick summary for you. Again, if you think you know the whole story, stay with me because there are some vital, even more outrageous elements to this event that the viral video and links don't even mention. Again, this is Alex Wubbels, a nurse in a burn center in Utah, politely talking with police while on the phone with her supervisor, with a copy of the hospital's blood policy in her hand while she's protecting the rights of one of her newly acquired patients.
Brad, I'm just putting on speaker so you can. So I have this. It says obtaining blood samples for police enforcement from patients suspected to be under the influence. Okay, this was something that you guys agreed to with this hospital. The three things that allow us to do that are if you have an electronic warrant, patient consent, or patient under arrest, and neither of those things. The patient can't consent. He told me repeatedly that he doesn't have a warrant, and the patient is not under arrest. So I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do. That's all. So
now, a lot of disinformation went just as viral as the video. Some saying that police were trying to get the blood from an obviously drunk driver. Others said it was a blood sample from a criminal the police were chasing. And still others even said that the nurse was obstructing justice. But the truth is that the patient Wubbels had recently acquired, whom the police were trying to get a blood sample from, was a truck driver who'd been struck by an individual driving a black Chevy Silverado after multiple reports of erratic driving. The driver ran from police, eventually swerving into oncoming traffic and colliding directly in front of a semi-truck, causing this horrific explosion caught by a Utah Highway Patrol dash cam. According to the report, the driver of the semi-truck got out of the truck and was on fire before being extinguished by an officer. He was then eventually airlifted to the University of Utah Medical Hospital and put under the care of hospital staff, including Nurse Wubbels. The badly injured truck driver was identified as William Gray. And here's the kicker. Gray is a reserve police officer for the Rigby, Idaho Police Department. He's a full-time truck driver and a part-time cop. One can't help but wonder if the Utah police would have been so eager to get that blood sample if they knew Gray was a part of their fraternal thin blue line. Since Gray was not the suspect of a crime, was not conscious to provide consent, and because there was no warrant, the hospital staff refused to provide police with a blood sample. That's when police detective Jeff Payne attacked her while his spineless fellow officers stood by doing nothing. Payne dragged her outside and then cuffed and loaded her into a police cruiser.
Sir, I had to Hey!
Don't make me stop! Stop! I've done nothing wrong!
This development even prompted Governor Gary Herbert to issue a tweet saying, "The footage of Alex Wubbels' arrest is disturbing. We trust that the Salt Lake City Police Department will quickly respond and rectify the situation." The mayor of Salt Lake City said this arrest was completely unacceptable. The victim, Officer William Gray's Rigby Police Department, issued a statement saying, "On July 26th of this year, one of our reserve officers, William Gray, was the victim in a horrific accident in northern Utah while working his full-time job as a truck driver. The suspect in this incident was fleeing from Utah State Highway Patrol when he crossed into oncoming traffic and collided head-on with Gray's truck, severely injuring Gray and killing himself. Officer Gray was flown to the University of Utah's burn unit, where he remains under their watchful, professional, and competent care. Within the first hours of Officer Gray being admitted into the burn unit, an incident occurred between hospital staff and an officer from an agency in Utah who is assisting with the investigation. The Rigby Police Department was not aware of this incident until August 31st, 2017. The Rigby Police Department would like to thank the nurse involved and hospital staff for standing firm and protecting Officer Gray's rights as a patient and victim. Protecting the rights of others is truly a heroic act." And guys, it would be difficult to agree more with that statement. Protecting the rights of others truly is a heroic act. What we witness from Nurse Wubbels is what we should be witnessing every single day from people who claim to be protecting and serving. But unfortunately, instead of serving and protecting, we often find that cops are busy harassing and collecting. As you would expect, the people of the internet were furious with Detective Payne, the individual rights trampling, assault happy, power hungry, authoritarian arresting officer. People are saying this was police intimidation, unlawful arrest, assault, and attempted kidnapping. And these are all true. Soon after the Salt Lake City police apologized, Payne was placed on administrative leave. And this is typical. If you're a cop who engages in criminal activity and you get caught by the public, you get a paid vacation. Now here's the part of the story I think a lot of people who saw that initial viral 2-minute clip don't know about. There were several body cams. There's more footage that has rightly put another officer in the crosshairs, namely Lieutenant James Tracy. He was the watch commander on duty. He called for the arrest and he ended up showing up on the scene. What you're going to see in this video is the top of Lieutenant Tracy's head as he's kneeling down talking with and explaining things to Nurse Alex Wubbels, who's sitting in a police cruiser. You'll also see arresting officer and assault expert Jeff Payne walking around the front of the vehicle. Another officer's body cam is recording the whole exchange. And what Lieutenant Tracy gets caught saying on police body cam footage is very eye-opening and just confirms what people have been saying about power-tripping police officers all along. And just to confirm this is the same officer from the phone, he says,
What I was trying to tell you on the phone right now is the law.
Tracy was heard saying there's probably a better solution.
I have talked to people, and there's probably a much better solution that we could have come to, okay?
Then he comes up with an interesting argument for why Nurse Wubbels should have allowed the police to do this.
Listen to me. If we're doing wrong, there are civil remedies, okay? It's called fruits of the poisonous tree. If we took this blood illegally, it all goes away.
Basically, Tracy's telling the nurse to just let the police do the illegal thing. If we do something illegal, it all goes away. Just let us break the law. None of it'll count. Then, in the context of doing the illegal thing, he essentially says, I'm right and you're wrong.
I've done this for 22 plus years. I know what the law is when it comes to search and seizure, all right? And what you have done, because your bosses are telling you to, has been to prevent this officer who was called out to do a job to do his job. That's obstructing justice. Okay.
So what he's saying is, I've been doing this for 22 years and I can tell you with all that experience that if you don't let the officer do his job, even if he's breaking the law and doing illegal things, that's an obstruction of justice. And guys, I just want to take a second to remind you, it doesn't matter if what the nurse did was protected by a man-made law or a hospital policy or not. What she did was right, period. She protected and stood up for a man who could not protect and stand up for himself. By any definition, this is the right thing. And what is morality anyway? Morality is doing what is right, regardless of what you're told, as opposed to what this cop is trying to push, which is conformity. Conformity is doing what you're told regardless of what is right. Then Lieutenant Tracy is given a chance to talk to the policy officer of the hospital, and this happens.
I have the hospital privacy officer on the phone with me right now.
And what does he know about this individual that I'm trying to get blood from?
Just what we've told him.
Okay, so he doesn't know anything. I don't need to talk to him. Okay, because he's going to tell me what your policy is, and I understand what your policy is. I'm trying to tell you what I need legally. Okay, and your policy right now is contravening what I need legally. Okay, which I may not need it. If you have blood that I can get Logan to come and get a warrant and test for later. Okay, but this is all stuff that we should have a conversation with before I'm told no.
So it appears that after manhandling, assaulting, and arresting that nurse, they realize, holy crap, the hospital already drew blood. If we could have gotten a warrant, we could have used that blood. But instead, we needlessly escalated something that shouldn't have been escalated. It doesn't even seem like Lieutenant Tracy believes what he's saying to these people. And the reason I say that is because Jeff Payne's body camera caught Tracy saying this.
I don't think this arrest is.
So he knows that this arrest is illegitimate and therefore illegal, and that it's not gonna stick. He knows what he did was a criminal activity, and he even blames himself.
And unfortunately, when I told Payne that, hey, we're going to escalate this so we can get our blood, I didn't know that that's standard practice. They'll draw blood right off the bat and test it. And so, had I known that, it would have been a lot easier.
So just paraphrasing, oh crap, I escalated and messed up this entire situation to get something I could have gotten without doing something totally illegal. And just to be real clear about this, it would not have made it any more legal for a corrupt officer to get a warrant from a corrupt judge just so another individual could have his rights trampled and his life threatened. In other body cam footage, Tracy claims that this is a constant problem.
There's a very bad habit up here of your policy interfering with my law.
My law? This is one messed up, power-hungry, power-tripping individual. There's one law, and that's the universal natural law. True laws don't come from the arbitrary edicts of political parasites, which are then handed to their obedient law enforcers so they can turn around and harass and extort the peasants. Now, as the coup de grace of this whole police-fueled illegal activity, Jeff Payne's body cam catches him explaining to another police officer how he's going to punish this hospital in the future.
I'll bring them all with transients and take good patients elsewhere.
He's saying from here on out, I'm going to take the transient people, the homeless, the undesirable people here, and all the good people, well, I'll just take them somewhere else. Jeff Payne, you are a certified grade A lowlife. Maybe you guys watching this video can leave your comments on what you think of Jeff Payne, Lieutenant James Tracy, and all the cops from the Salt Lake City Police Department who stood by like cowards with their thumbs up their asses while injustice prevailed. Make this video go viral. Let the world see what true injustice really is. I'll leave the links to the Salt Lake City Police Department's Facebook page, website, and direct phone numbers if you want to leave a friendly message or note. As I end this video, I want to thank Nurse Alex Wubbels. You were courageous, you were steadfast in your principles, your ethics were impeccable, and all of us who care about the cause of individual liberties are damn proud of you for standing up to a group of costumed, armed, badged, and spineless bullies. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share it with others. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe and notification button and you'll be alerted when I upload new videos. Today's shirts for the day are Truth, the new